All right. Um, this is another testimony. Like I said, I will try to make a video every morning, at least with me in it. As you can see, I dropped a few videos yesterday. Matter of fact, one video was just removed because somehow it was violation. And it's funny because it was a video about the testimonials of what they do to children, right? The torture. Now, I'm sure somebody did something to make that removed, but I just put it back on YouTube because these people want to present themselves as people who protect children and whatnot. So I won't be surprised if these people seeing reality of what they're part of is something that they don't like to see. They want to live in that fantasy, but the reality is they're in a program that does horrible things to kids. They torture children. These people do nasty things to kids. That's the reality that they want to escape. And the sad part is, this is not testimonials from me. I was just putting on the videos that are already out there. Mariana talking about what she experiencing, children being tortured, that she was teaching other people with kids, seeing what's happening to their kids. So I just wanted to show what they do to children. And these people are pretending that they're protecting kids with the nasty things they do. They do sexual torture, all kind of terrible abuses to these kids, and they call it daring. The reality is that's what they're part of, and they want to escape this reality. Now, I made that video to also talk about how they were trying to talk about what I did as a kid. I was a child. A child did something stupid as a kid, and does that. And I did it to myself, and they had to exaggerate this. When the reality is, these people do horrible things to children. That's what they do. They will do that to any child if they're in the program. There is nothing daring about what they do. It's disgusting, it's coward-like. And I see them as what they are. You know, right before I made this video, right before I was making this video, like I said, they do these disturbing things where they make me have disturbing stimulations through kids. It's nasty. And what they try to do is then try to find a way to make me think that that's how I was thinking when I was a child. It's disgusting. They try to kind of create something to make me feel like this is something I felt when I was a child. It's disgusting, basically, because I'm in my 30s, late 30s actually, or about to be my late 30s. And so, mid to late 30s, I would say. And so, to be forced to think that this is how you felt when you were a child, and then try to get you to match with a feeling that you felt as a child, and try to create and then try to use that as you see, we proved that this is how you would feel. I was like, no, I'm a grown man, first of all, and let's not even say man, I'm a grown adult. And for you to try to think that I'm going to subscribe to that is disgusting. They have made me feel this weird feeling and sensation where they try to, and I'm going to make a video. Of course, what happened is when they do this thing to me, I present what they do. I show this is this kid, that's how they make me look at this kid. They give me a weird sensation, make me feel that's how I felt when I was a child. I show a picture of me as a child next to it. It's like this, they match it to this. Imagine me in my 30s. Imagine you're a 30-some years old man or woman, and they're like, do you see that what you're feeling right now is what we matched it to you as a kid? Right? This is nonsensical. Because you matched it to me when I was a child in 8th grade. Or even younger. It's disgusting. And they try to create these things in your head where they want you to have these battles. There's no battles needed. No. First of all, I'm an adult, so stop trying to make me think that's me as a kid. So you're saying that you make me think like a kid now. It's delusional. Because I would not have this reaction if I was me. You forced me to have this experience, and it's disgusting. So, there's nothing new here. I will make a video specific to that. I don't, I'll never subscribe to these things. It's disgusting, and it's nasty. And they try to make me think, and then try to make me think of me as a kid, and try to say, but you felt something like that when you were a kid. Just disgusting things. And they try to create something similar, but add their nastiness. And as me as a child, try to find a way for you to identify to this nastiness. But that's what they do. You gotta be strong. These people are renowned for their pedophilia type of torture. They do this pedophilia type of things, and they want you to subscribe to it. So for me, I'm never gonna let them live the fantasy. If they think that I'm gonna be like, oh yes, it's me when I was a kid, they're delusional. First of all, I'm not a kid. I'm an adult. And second of all, I know that you guys do pedophilia type of torture. You force people to experience these nasty things. So in the video I'm going to make next, I'm going to show you the picture that they gave me the stimulation toward, and me as a kid. And right now they even give me stimulation thinking about the picture of this kid. And you know, I heard these people saying, oh, you're going to surf. You know, these are the same people who do these horrible things to kids, huh? They torture children. That's why this video was removed from my YouTube channel. Because it was the reality of that is just too much. What they do to children is just horrible. And they try to distance themselves from what I know that they do. These horrible people not only do horrible things to adults, but also to children. And this is what they're trying to counter reality. And try to say, they're like, oh, it's a match. What you felt like it's a match to you as a kid. It's a match as me as a kid. And so in this video, I also wanted to address these people that do these disgusting things. You know, they're gonna watch me suffer and scream. I'm like, I will run toward that because I know what you want to leave. Your fantasy. That's why these videos get removed. Because you don't want to see yourself or what you're part of, and I'm not letting you do that. I'm going to put things in perspective. You do this pedophilia type of things. You force me to experience this nastiness. This is not me when I was a kid. I'm not a kid, by the way. I'm in my 30s. And so if you ever think that I'm going to subscribe to it because you're screaming, you were. Stupidity. These people who torture children, who do the pedophilia type of torture. They know I see them for the trash that they are. And they want to live this nonsensical reality where they torture children and try to block that out. This trash know they sold to pedophiles. You know, they are trying to counter the fact that there's a lot of pedos in these agencies, but try to make me subscribe to this article thing. And then I talked about it yesterday with Instagram and how they were doing this thing, and there's this network of pedophiles in this internet. And it's funny how they kind of recreate reality, even in real time, in person. I was with this perp, which I don't think is going to be something that's going to last at this point. And I'm talking to her, and she just kind of recreated a storyline in different fashion. And you know, she was telling me, like, you know, we went together to buy things, and you know, when I go outside, I look away because they bring their kids and they want to do this disgusting sensation and stimulation. I look away. I'm disgusted. I become kind of rude. I've become somebody kind of like rude. I don't want to talk to them. Like I don't want to look. They have their kids walking slow in front of me, so they want me to look at this kid and they can just give me this nasty stimulation. I'm talking about little kids too, like toddlers and like 7-year-old and stuff. Like this is disgusting. So they can do the stimulations. So when they do that, I just look up and just make like a face and I just walk away. Like I just go around and ugh. But she was trying to like create a different version of it where she was like, oh no, when with kids you're just so nice, you just smiles like, yeah. Maybe before August 19, 2019, yes. I would be like, oh. Now I'm like, ugh. And so you hear how they try to recreate a fantasy. They live off a reality that they fabricate themselves. They come up with their own fantasy of things. They use these childlike people for a reason. Right now, they keep screaming, you were. Meaning that you were when you were a kid. You understand? This is the delusional trash that they have they use. And they really are trying to say, but were you when you were a kid? So sorry, but these people are just, they use this child like almost on the spectrum people that literally are in the program that torture children. reality is never going to escape. They can block it out as much as there's no escaping what they do. I'm not going to let them live the fantasy. The way they make me feel things and then try to find a way to make me think that this is how I felt when I was a kid, or give me a feeling where they try to create something, you know, and they try to, it's like, oh, it's just nasty. And I'll talk about it, and I'll make a specific video about it. Of course, I'll have a picture of me when they say I was, and this baby, and of course I blur these babies, but it's not even, it's just like that all the time. And they try to make me think of, remember that time when you feel like, ugh. It's like, no, you're forcing me to feel like that. And can you imagine? I'm 30 something. They try to. But my point is, these people, these perps who are contracted by the government, sole job is to get you to accept to this. It's to accept that these new ways of perceiving, reacting, are natural. Before, when I woke up today, they were playing with my genitals. They were playing my libido. It was disgusting. It's nonstop. I'm like, at this point, I really just want to get rid of, I don't want to have a libido. Because they've used it in such a foul ways. I just don't even, I'm like, it makes you, like, listen, I'm a sexual being, right? Like everybody else. Of course, like everybody else, I do have, interest in sex. But it's really like making me feel disgust about sex, because what's happening is they've used my libido in this disturbing pedophilia ways. And it's just nasty. And they force you to have these things, and they try to get you to be like, oh, this is, no. I rather, and they keep telling me, every time they do this, they say castrate. Castrate is like a way they want you to box in this thing. So even if by the fact I told them, listen, I'll bring my own knife if you need that. Because they want a theater. They play with your own sexual part to do this thing toward children. And they're like, castrate. This is trying to box in these manipulations. I will not let these people live a fantasy. They draw their own little painting and they look at it and say, oh my God. Oh. This is like acting. To paintings and look at it, it's like, oh my God. Oh, castrate. That's what they do. They force you to react and say, oh my gosh. It's disgusting. To tell me how I'm going to struggle. Of course, I'm a target individual. You make women become homeless. These people, this is the trash that aren't struggling right now. This is the people living lavishly. You see, they don't understand that they live an embarrassing life already. There's different type of struggles in life. But this struggle, I rather struggle the way that I'm going to struggle than having to live the life that these people live. It's so disturbing. This is a struggle. They're going to have struggles that I will never experience. And their struggle is going to be worse than my struggle. My struggle will probably become finance or what. I'll be on this, health-wise, which probably who knows what is going to happen to them in the health department. But my struggle is dignified. I'm not going to let them live their fantasy at all. It's so nasty. Because right now they still try to create this battle, and they try to make me think of, it's just nasty. They try to make me think of what I did as a kid, but at the same time try to create this stimulation of, and try to create this connection, and it's nasty. It's so nasty. They're really forcing me to have this thing. But it's pure manipulations. They manipulate your brain to try to identify with these things. And for me, it's me as a kid, which I know is falsified. It's falsified. And on top of that, I'm not a kid. So they talk about me, what I did, these people do horrible things to kids. I'm going to repeat this over and over and over. They abuse children. They torture them. Now, a kid can do something stupid. And they're like, we proved that. You proved that you don't torture children. You prove that you don't do the pedophilia type of torture. Or you tell me that you prove that you match to what I felt like when I was a kid. You understand how spectrum like these people are? That's why they use these childlike people. Me, my validation is concrete, real things. These people are talking about me as a kid. Well, I can literally bring somebody, say, they do this pedophile type of torture. They force me to think in these pedophile ways. Me, they're like, no, we matched it to you when you were a kid. Do you understand? The reality they live in is just so delusional and childlike. And it's not even me as a child. They create these things as me as a child. They create this weird sensation to try to create the same similar thing that I'm experiencing today. And it's create this, it's just pure manipulation. It's like, oh, we match it. It's like, no, you make me feel certain things that I felt like as a kid, and then try to create this sexual stimulation, and then aim it toward this kid. It's just disgusting. I'm feeling it right now. And then it's supposed to make me subscribe because, oh, we matched this. Like, I know I'm talking to people who do the pedophile type of torture. You know that. I understand that you guys do the pedophilia things. And you want me to subscribe to me as a kid? When I know on top of that you torture children. These people are delusional. That's why they use these people. There is no way you can make me subscribe to what I know that you guys do this pedophile type of torture. And for them, their validation consists of me as a child. Well, I listened to a woman who literally, I smell baby powder, and they give me the pedophile type of torture. These people torture children. They hurt children. These people talking to me. The reality is going to come one way or another. I'm just prepping them for that. Me, I'm ready for whatever horrible things I'm expecting. I've been humiliating these people. And on top of that, I know they're not just responsible for me being here. They're just doing their job of doing the nasty things they do. I know who put me in this program. So I put things in the right perspective, in the sense that they're going to do this. Regardless of how they take it, they do this because that's their job. That's their assignment. Tomorrow, it could be somebody else, a woman with children. And the children will be tortured. So I see them and I give them the credit of what they deserve. They do these things to people. And it's disgusting. And they do this horrible torture toward children. Some more than others. Some have more experience than others. But these people are involved in programs that torture children. And force people to experience disgusting stimulation. Now, I'm going to make a video soon about what they just did. And it's going to be the typical things. And it's nasty, but you just got to be strong and understand. That's what they do. In my brain right now, they try to create this feeling. Now, before I finish this video, I want to talk about the perp that, that surround me. Just to know that this person can delude themselves to that level is just disgusting. But to all my target individual, they're going to create an ecosystem to try to make you accept everything that's happening to you. Please understand, if you were not a targeted individual, you will not get the reaction that you experience. You will not have the dreams that you experience. You will not get the stimulation that you experience. You will not experience the thoughts that you experience. This is because these people manipulate your brain. They manipulate your brain in these disturbing ways. Even if you don't get the pedophile type of tormenting, you get different type of disturbing manipulation of your thoughts. It is true that there's a pattern of using the pedophile type of tormenting. Many have said that, but there's other ways they can torment you without using that. They use your libido to disturb you. It's disgusting, and it's what they do. So to all my target individual, do not subscribe to these disgusting things. This is what they do. They are doing disturbing things to me, and this is how they break you down. This is why I keep saying that. Do not subscribe. I do not. And they use these shy-like people who I've told this, you're going to get yours. You work for pedophiles. You are here to talk about me matching to me as a kid. The more I listen to that, the more it just how I even let myself even go into this stupidity of logic. How did I even let myself even think that this is actually, it makes sense? Because early on, I will have this back and forth. It's like, oh no, it's like, no, you see, when you're like 8 years old, and I was like, 8, but no, and they'll give me this feeling, it's like, oh, it feels familiar. It's like, what? 8? He said, no, 9 years old. No, 12, 13, no, 14. And try to be like, oh, you in your 30s, somebody says that. To all my target individuals, do not subscribe to any of this. It's disgusting. I gotta be strong. Do you know, how hard they're making me have these battles, and they try to make me think of me as a kid, try to make me think a moment when you felt, ugh. It's disgusting. And then they try to say, oh, you see that little girl, she's cute like this, so that gives you that, oh. Do you know how disturbing that it is? And they want you to, as a castrate, basically, that means, oh, no, that's you. No, they castrate me, but I'm not going to subscribe to that. You're using this moment of warnings to try to make me accept this, to box in this thing. So to all my target individual, regardless of what they're warning you, they're going to do to you, understand they use these warnings to box in a falsified reality. And you got to be